Hey guys, this is Pian Dan here, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about my experience in the Grade 8 piano exam that I recently took. So, for those of you who don't know what the AMEB stands for the Australian Education Music Board. You gotta follow like the syllabus structure. So, this is the book that I was using. Piano 8th grade. Okay, I guess I'll just talk it through. What I actually experienced and what you would expect for the exam. Oh yeah, so it happened to be exam day and about an hour, 2 hour-ish practice beforehand on my upright piano. Standard Yamaha. If I can switch this camera around. Oh yeah, oh my goodness, okay, there you go. The structure of the exam, so you have to do scales. So you're going to choose 3 pieces to play. And the general knowledge, so like understanding the composer's life, characteristics of the pieces, basically analysing the piece. Either do theory or sight reading. In this case I chose sight reading. Okay, exam day, yeah. So, yeah, I got to the train station. Now the funny thing was, I actually nearly missed one train station from my piano exam, because I was at the next station. So, I guess the point being, always be early to your exam, maybe like 1 hour or 30 minutes. Depending how far you need to travel, so always take that into account. And don't be late for your exam, because that would be terrible. And thankfully, so I got there on time, about, I think about an hour early, yeah, or maybe 45 minutes, I can't remember. So I get there to the exam centre, and went up to the reception, and I had to show this lady there. She was really kind, and she was pretty cool. And I just showed her like there was this form, an application I had to fill out. Like my name details, what music pieces I'll be performing, and yeah, she said later on you can just, you know, check out I mean have a practice in some of the practice rooms. You know, once you're done, they just, you know, knock on your door and they just say, I have to get ready for your assessment from the examiner. I was there in a practice room, and the cool thing about the pianos was the keys are so I like weighted. I mean, it's a good thing because it focuses more on your dynamics, and you know, you get a bit more feel of the, you know, the touch of the piano is really different. So that's another thing. If you guys ever play on whatever pianos you guys use to practice, I guess on the day try to get used to the piano touch, because it'll be really different. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was so good. I think it was even better than my piano, to be honest. So after my practice was done, went out, and then 10 to 15 minutes remaining, so I guess the kind lady, you know, walked me through the corridor area where the assessment was going to take place. I walked into the exam, and there was this guy named Mr. Riddle. I walked into the exam, gave him my application form. Yeah, we started with scales. Now, overall, I'll just summarize it. Scales got off pretty rough start. I felt really confident with my 3 pieces. My sight reading, well, it was just 1 page. The first half was great, the second half was, yeah, could have been improved a bit more. Okay, so we start off with scales. Now, of course, make sure you guys adjust your seat. So there's like, you guys have adjustable seats in the exam. I had to play do the A major scale, and like the F sharp major scale, E flat harmonics and the F sharp harmonics. But I guess what really sort of I wasn't too happy with was when I was playing the A major scale, which is probably the simplest, most easiest scale that you guys can ever do. In this syllabus, I slipped 1 note, and I was like, oh my goodness, how did you slip a note? Because this is the most simplest, easiest A major scale, for goodness sake. So, what to do? I continued on, like you always do. You don't stop, because if you stop, what are you doing? Just what are you doing? I think it was after 2 scales, I had to adjust my seats. And the reason why I had to adjust my seat is I felt it was a bit uncomfortable. But anyway, so I adjusted it, and then after that, yeah, all the scales were practically perfect. Like, it was good. After that, I did my 3 pieces. So I did them in order of Sweet Georgia Brown, first one, second one being Sassendol, which is like a jazz standard type of pop tune. And the third one, I did Russell Spring. And there was some trouble that happened when I got to Russell Spring, because it is literally a 9-page. I'm not supposed to do this, photocopy it. Like, I had like, oh my goodness. It's literally 9 pages that I had to do. Oh my goodness. And literally I just annotated through my photocopy. And no, I did not write any dodgy ass notes on my actual performance book, because that would be cheating. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see here. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's a big deal. Okay, so what I did with 9 pages, so I think I was like on the 8th page or something, and there was a 2-second delay, and well, I guess I didn't really flick it correctly, and I flicked it eventually, and to continue on, as you usually do, but I wasn't too happy because I didn't flick it in time. I got to the end of the piece, and yeah, I did my best for that. After the pieces, there were some general knowledge questions. So the first piece I had to talk about was, gosh, I referred to my notes. This was a while back. Yeah, Sweet Georgia Brown. And basically I had to talk about like the modulations. So when they say modulations, they talk about the key changes. And the key, if I remember correctly, oh yeah, A flat major. The next piece I talked about was Saffendal, which was the jazz standard pop tune composed by Duke Ellington and Billy Strayton. So he asked me about composer's life. Thankfully, on the piece, it had the year date for like when the composer was born and when he passed away. So thankfully, my general knowledge theory and practice, shout out to my piano teacher, getting me prepared for this exam. I guess my brain, you know, just said all the knowledge that I knew about the composer. Now I did make a slight error in compositions. When I say compositions, like what other musical pieces did he write? And I said take 5, and that was obviously incorrect because take 5 was composed by Dave Brubeck. I just said to him, wait, hang on a sec. Oh yeah, it actually was composed by some other guy, and in reality at that time during the exam I didn't really know who it was composed by. And I guess, you know, it's better not to assume, so make sure you guys check your facts if you guys go for general knowledge. But then I went to Russell Spring again. He also asked me about the composer's life. Anyway, thankfully I was prepared for all my practices that I did at home, and also practices with my piano teacher. Yeah, I talked about Russell Spring, how it was composed by Christian Sinding, who's a Norwegian composer. I also talked about some of his compositions, Opus 91, Variations 2. It was just a bunch of etudes and intermezzos. He was actually really surprised by the level of detail I was able to go through the composer's life, his journey, what he did, some of his influences that helped him create his music and other compositions. So he was like, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. Oh yeah, we did sight reading. Yeah, so sight reading, it was 1 page. It was like in the key of A flat major. So ideally I had like 2 minutes to read it. So I got through it, and then I nearly finished sight reading it, like having a look at it in a glance. He said, time's up, you need to play it. So the first half, I reckon, it was pretty good. I got off with a good start. I had a good rhythm to flow it through. But then when we got to the second half, things got a little bit iffy. I missed some flats and sharps, and it didn't sound like too good. But my rhythm was good because I kept it going. And that's a strong point for me because I always keep my rhythm going despite all these incorrect notes. And of course, you want to be as precise and as accurate as you can. So I got to the end, safe and sound. But the thing is, I hit the right chord according to the music sheet, but I missed the sharp and flat. So, okay, I thought, yeah, I finished the exam, and I thought to myself, what grade would I actually get? I'll probably get a credit for this because, you know, I screwed up 2 scales. I felt my pieces were really strong. My general knowledge was really strong. Sight reading was just the other half was could have been improved. So after that, that's it. He didn't really ask anything else because it was a really short exam, and the reason why it was short is because students before me, he was running over time. So I had a really short exam. So I think in total my exam was about, in terms of time, 15-20 minutes ish overall. I guess the best advice for the exam is to practice, but not overly like practice and like over exhaust yourself, because that would be bad for your hands. But practice enough that you feel like you're confident, and this is where you have to decide as how much you want to practice. And actually, surprising thing is I did actually record all this data in an Excel spreadsheet to show you all the level of practice that I did in order to practice for this exam. So I guess I'll put that in another video. Another good advice would be listen to your piano teacher. Make sure you guys take on feedback, because that will definitely help you and improve in terms of preparation for the exam. I guess you also have to make a lot of efforts. Definitely effort counts. If you guys have any other questions in regards to, you know, how you prepare for these exams or your thoughts about it, yeah, feel free to type in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Piano Dan, signing out.